Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Coders Arcade. In today's video, we'll be talking about arrays in C. Before starting with today's topic, let me request you to please share and like our videos with your friends and family, and also subscribe to our channel Coders Arcade so that you get notifications about our latest updates. So let's get started. So far, we have used only the fundamental data types, namely character, int, float, double, and variations of int and double. Although these data types are very useful, they are constrained by the fact that a variable of these types can store only one value at a given time. Therefore, they can be used only to handle limited amounts of data. In many applications, however, we need to handle a large volume of data in terms of reading, processing, and printing. To process such large amounts of data, we need a powerful data type that would facilitate efficient storing, accessing, and manipulation of data items. C language supports a derived data type known as array that can be used for such applications. So, what is an array? An array is a fixed-size, sequenced collection of elements of the same data type. It is simply a grouping of like-type data. In simplest form, an array can be used to represent a list of numbers or a list of names. Some examples where the concept of an array can be used are as follows. List of temperatures recorded every hour in a day or a month or a year. List of employees in an organization, list of products and their cost sold by a store, test scores of a class of students, list of customers and their telephone numbers, or else table of daily rainfall data and so on. Since an array provides a convenient structure for representing data, it is classified as one of the data structures in C. There are many other data structures like lists, queues, and trees. We will also be discussing about this in our next upcoming videos. So we will be mainly talking about arrays in this video. So there are many types of arrays. We can use arrays to represent not only simple lists of values but also tables of data in 2, 3 or more dimensions. In this and the upcoming videos, we will be discussing how to use it to create and apply the following types of arrays, which are one-dimensional arrays, two-dimensional arrays, and multi-dimensional arrays. So let us first talk about one-dimensional arrays. Okay, let me give you an example. Suppose I want to add 3 numbers. Let me think about 3 variables. In my mind, I might be thinking of A, B, and C as the 3 variables. And what did you think about? You might also have thought about A, B, and C, right? Or else we can think about X, Y, and Z. Now the question is, why are we only thinking about A, B, C, or X, Y, Z? The reason behind this is A, B, C or X, Y, Z follows a certain pattern, and it is very easy to remember this kind of patterns. So, whenever we think of variables in a pattern, then it is very easy to remember those patterns because it continues in a serial number or a pattern. Suppose A, B, C, D, E, or you can say W, X, Y, Z, etc. It becomes very easy to remember. Now, if I ask you to add, suppose 100 numbers, in that case, it will be very difficult to think of 100 variables at the same time because it will be very time consuming and it will fill the program with clutters and it will be very messy, right? So what we can do is, in this kind of situations, we can use arrays. So let me show you how an array looks like. An array can be represented like this. It will have the data type, then we will write the variable name followed by square brackets, and then we can give the number of elements. And you can either assign the length of the array at the beginning, or you can leave it blank. It can be of two types. Now the question is, if I assign the length of the array, then it will be something like this. This will have 10 number of elements, as you can see in the figure. Now the question arises, how we can access the elements in this array. For that, we have the idea or process of indexing. The indexing in C programming starts from 0. As you can see, the first element will have the index 0, and followed by it will go on till the last number. So if we are having 10 elements, then the last number will have the index 9. 10 minus 1 is equal to 9 because it is starting from 0. So if we want to access the first element, we can write a of 0. And if we want to access the last element, we can use a of 9. So this is how you can access the elements in an array. Now let us move on to the editor so that we can understand more about this one-dimensional array. I am going to my editor now. So as I told you, I will write my main function and followed by this curly braces. Here I will assign the array, and in this program I will show you how to calculate the average of 10 numbers. For that I will be using a one-dimensional array, which is also like a list. So this is the syntax of writing an array. Int a of, you have to give curly braces, and inside it I will assign the length of the array, which is 10. Then I will give the colon. Now, as I told you, to access the first item in the array, you can do it by using the indexing like a of 0. So like this, you can access all the items in the array. Now you can assign values to the elements of the array like this. If I say a of 0 equal to 56, in this way I can assign values to the elements of the array. And if I say a of 9 is equal to 90, in this way I am assigning a value 90 to the last element of the array or the 10th element of the array. So for the time being, let me take an input from the user for all the elements. For that, what I have to do is, I will use the printf function, and here I will write enter the 10 elements one by one. And now I will give a escape character /n so that I get the output in the next line. And please remember, you have to give the semicolon here. Now the question is, how do I take the input from the user? For that, I will be using a for loop. For I equal to 0, but the question is that I have to now assign this variable. Otherwise, I will be encountering an error. So for that, I am taking the I variable. So now I have 10 elements. So I can do it in two ways. I equal to 0. I less than 10 I can write, or else I can write I less than equal to 9. Both are correct. So I am using the first one, I less than 10. Then semicolon, I plus plus. And now I will be taking the input from the user. For that, I will use the scanf function. And here I will take the quotes and I will write %d, comma, and this is the ampersand. This is for the address. And here I will write a of I. So in this way, the elements entered by the user will be stored in the variable a, which is an array, one by one. Now I have to give the semicolon. So in this way, I will be getting all the elements input from the user and will be storing them in the array a. Now, first of all, to find the average, I have to calculate the sum of all the numbers or the elements in the array. For that, I am taking one more variable, which is sum. So for this, I have to take another for loop. Here also, just because there are 10 elements, I will be using the same logic. I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, and here I will be using this logic, sum equal to sum plus a of I. So in this way, all the elements will be added one by one because of this for loop. It will start from the first element and it will keep on calculating till it goes on to the last element. But for that, initially I have to initiate the sum value to 0, which I will be doing now. As you can see here, I have done it to 0. Now I have to calculate the average. For that, let me take another data type, which is float, and I will take the average variable and semicolon. And after this ending of the for loop, I will take average equal to sum divided by 10.0. Why have I taken 10.0? Because when we divide integer by integer, we will be getting an integer value. I want it to satisfy for float also. That's why I am taking 10.0. I have taken 10.0 because I have 10 number of elements, and the formula for average is sum of the number of elements divided by the number of elements. So now I will print the average by using the printf function, and here, just because my data type is float, I have to use %f. So I will write the average is %f, and then I will give a comma and call my average variable. So now it's done. So this is the total code. Now let me run it for you so that I can show you the output. I'm running it. You can see there is an error. Okay, I have to give a semicolon here. I have given a comma. Sorry for that. Now let me run it once again. And here also I have to give one semicolon. You people need to remember that you have to give semicolon everywhere. So let me run it again. And yes, it's asking me to provide the elements one by one. Let me zoom it for you. And I'm giving the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and say 10, and press enter. You can see it's calculating the average, which is 5.5000. So I press enter, and this is how you can calculate the average using an array. This is a one-dimensional array. In my next videos, I will be talking about two-dimensional arrays and multi-dimensional arrays as well. So here I want to tell you one more thing. You have to remember the syntax. As you can see here, array is represented by the variable name and followed by the length of the array. And if you don't assign this length, then you can put as many numbers as you want. But if you assign this length, then you have to provide 10 elements or less than 10 elements. If you provide 10 elements, then it's okay. If you provide less than 10 elements, suppose if you're providing 2 elements, then first 2 elements will be the elements provided by you, and the other 8 elements will be by default 0. And if you provide more than 10 elements, then you will encounter errors. So this you have to keep in mind. So this is how you can work with arrays, and stay tuned so that you can learn about two-dimensional and multi-dimensional arrays as well. Thank you. So this is all about this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you like the video, and if you like it, then tell us in the comment section below. If you have any doubts, then post them in the comment section. I will definitely try to clear those doubts. Also, like, share and subscribe to our channel, Coders Arcade, and press the bell icon so that you will get a notification when we post a new video. Thank you. Happy learning.